everyone, and welcome to a new video. I do want to say I am excited to announce that we have a channel sponsor. It is Dubby, the energy drink company. If you don't know, they're basically like Gamer Sups and G Fuel and stuff like that. They are for energy, but they're very healthy, and I can't afford to actually buy any of their stuff. But I did do a lot of research, and it turns out that they actually make really good flavors, so I'm proud and happy that they are sponsoring this channel. They have been sponsoring a lot of small channels, so thank you for them for doing that. So yeah, let's get into this video. Okay, first things first. If there's two things you need to know. So, for instance, if you're going for players, like if you're going to do like Hourglass or just hunt down players, you'll need one of these. You are going to need to go to resources over here, and you're going to need to grab one of each except for the bait crate, and you'll buy one of each and completely fill it. I'm not going to do that because, you know, I have to do two sides of the dice if you would prefer. So I'm just going to grab the chest. If you're not going after players or anything, don't even worry about buying this chest because you can just find them anywhere. I find them all the time. So yeah, so don't worry about, you know, buying all this stuff if you're just going out to grab some loot and everything. Now, once you got everything you needed, like item-wise, or if you're just going sailing, at this point you can go ahead and sail. But if you are going for players, what I do is basically I take everything out of the bottom crate, just take everything out, and then put it all into the top crate. This is so you know exactly where all your stuff is. So you don't have to like move around trying to grab things. You know exactly what barrel it is, and you know where it isn't. Food-wise, keep all your good food in here, as well as your planks and stuff. Make sure you have some. And I usually put it right here if I have one. If you have two, put one underneath this cannon and put one underneath this cannon. And get ready to fight for your life because people do not like giving up their treasure that easily. So, if you're a beginner and you don't want to go at people or you don't want to do PvP, there's an easy thing you can do is go on the map and look for Reapers. If you see any Reapers, like this one right here, what you're going to do is you're going to dive. Don't worry about losing this. You will not lose it. It does say you'll lose any treasure, but any storage crates are fine and they'll stay on your ship. So, once you look, and if there are Reapers, you'll dive. But we're not going to dive because of the purpose of this. So yeah. Now, emissaries. After you get to a certain level, you unlock emissaries. I believe it's level 15 and they're 20,000 each. The best emissary, in my opinion, to start off, unless you do Reapers. Reapers, of course, is the best. But if you don't want to do Reapers, the best one, in my opinion, will be Gold Hoarder. Just because they have more variety of loot and everything, and, you know, more variety means you have more chance of getting those types of loot. Then I would say Order of Souls is the next one. The Merchant Alliance is good now, don't get me wrong, but those both Gold Hoarder and Order of Souls just seems very easy to level up. Now, there is a emissary for the Sovereigns, which is this tent over here that you get after getting 250 gold to buy your first ship. Then you're able to use the Sovereigns instead of running around selling your loot. You can just sell all of it to them, and they have fancy little harpoon guns up here. Yeah, so they're just way more easier to sell at. Also, check them sometimes because people get extra storage crates, and they'll just leave them here. There isn't any here now, but a lot of the time I find them here. But yeah, what you need to look out for are just players and, I guess, random events like scaly ships. Just keep your eyes out for them and make sure you're prepared to fight if you have to. Now, after you get all your supplies, you choose your emissary, if you can. If not, then you should be able to get to that level fast. It doesn't take too long to get there, especially for Gold Hoarder. Once you do get there, you got to set sail. Now, there's different ways you can do. When I first started, I did island hopping, which is just basically going to island looking for messages and bottles. The coral ones are okay, but the best ones, in my opinion, are just the plain ones that have the king chest. You can have so many king chests in there, and it gives you so many loot. You also want to keep an eye out for shipwrecks. A lot of the time, I find them literally right next to an outpost. Let's just check. Oh, there's a player right there. See, players, they have these yellowish kind of lights on them. Skelly ships have like yellow and green. They have multiple colors, not just one. So yeah. But yeah, once you have your target in mind, whether you want to do island hopping or you want to do, oh, not that, or you want to do voyages, any voyage will do. Whatever you're trying to level up will probably do the best. I usually do the captain's treasure maps, and I keep doing those until I find a message in a bottle. That's how I used to play until I started playing a little more, and now I don't do that. So, once you have your destination in mind, what you're going to do is set sail. So, for instance, we're going to island hop over to Lookout Point. So that is straight ahead of us, about south, close to south. You want to raise anchor, and you want to get to sailing. How the wind works is a little tricky, and it took me a while to actually understand it. So you see how the wind is like coming directly at us, almost? See, I was told that having it straight like this is the fastest, but I usually see that you get a little more speed when you do that. Like, I'm not saying anyone's wrong, it's just what I see when I, play. So yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and go to this island straight ahead. Now, once you have the wind in your sails, you can always tell by just standing still and seeing where the wind's going, or looking at your flag up at the top. Once you have your thing, just, sail to your location, make sure you always have wind, and always keep an eye out for ships, because if a player's ship sees you, see, that's a skelly ship, it has blue, green, and... I got fancy music, something happened, I don't know what happened, but yeah, so just keep your eye out, make sure you don't see any ships or anything like that. I won't be able to do actual combat in this video because I can't speak and do combat. But I do have old episodes of Hourglass. Oh, they did a no-no. So you see how their sails are down but they're not moving? That means they're anchored. Don't ever anchor and leave your sails down. Because if someone approaches them, like if we approach them right now, we could sink them before they even get back on their ship. So yeah, don't ever do that. That's a big no-no. Always put your sail up and put your anchor up. Don't ever keep the anchor down. You can use it as a brake, but don't leave it down. That's another tip you need to know. For weapons is pretty simple. It's more of preference, really. I have the sword right now, but I usually prefer the blunderbuss and sniper. Just because I like having two guns, and they both do the most damage. So it's good to have. And it's also good for boarders and stuff like that to get on your ship. So it's good to do that as well. So I'm basically just coasting into this island, which is just kind of using the momentum I've built up to get to the island instead of using this as a break. The only reason I don't like using this as a break is because it takes so long to pull back up. So yeah. You see that thing right there? That's a storm. Don't ever go to them. Ever. Really. Unless you're doing the fishing stuff, then you can go to them because they give you good stuff. So basically, once we get to an island, all we do is hop off, look for treasure, which I forgot to raise an emissary, but this is where you'd probably build up your emissary at. Are we coming in too hot? No, we're not. Okay. So you get to the island, you go to it, and you just run along the beaches for ships and bottles, and also look around for little diaries, journals, kind of things. Oh, see, this is also good. So this is a captain. You can get captains or guardians, and they both protect a chest, cash, or... I don't remember the other thing they leave, but basically you just want to get rid of them. Just fight them. Where do they go? Just fight them, get rid of them, and you'll be fine. With skeletons, there isn't like a real huge trick to them. Oh, these are really good, by the way. The skulls. These skulls right here go for 5,000 gold. Or a little over 5,000. This one had a cache, which we can do real quick, actually. Even though it could be a Reaper's chest, which it would be very thrilling, but, you know, it would count. Okay, so, actually, here's a good little tip as well. Do you hear that? kind of like a humming, like a Those are mermaid statues, which we have one right here. We're not going to do this one because it's green, but the ones you want to look out for are red. Those are worth the most. I don't really want to do it because it takes forever. Basically, all you do with these is you damage them, and you keep damaging them until they break. But they take so long to break that it depends on if you have time or not to do them. So yeah, if you need to do them, you can. Just be careful and keep your eyes out and everything. Ooh, meat, also very good. Let me grab a bit of everything, actually. Alright. Now we're just going to search the island. Mangoes. Also search the barrels for pineapples, because those are the best fruit, and you can get a lot of health back from them. They give you 100% back on their return for, well, health. And we got another player who is an emissary. Let's see, are they going to leave their sail down? It sounds like it might be a captain ship. They're just going to run straight into the island. Wow, okay. Makes sense. Or are they going around the island? Can't really tell anymore. Alright, we're going to head... Those guys are still over there. We're headed to this island next. Now, cannon fire. We don't really have an enemy to show you, but I can explain it pretty easily. Don't use fancy cannons like I do. I only like to use fancy cannons because they look cool, but it actually makes it a lot harder to shoot. So with the cannons, if you do want to use fancy cannons, try to use some target practice to know which part is like long range, far range, medium range, and short range. So that way you'll know. But it's mostly more about feeling. You shoot, you see where you hit, and then you adjust from there. And you have to watch which way your ship's tilting. So make sure you don't do too much or too little when you go up and down. So that's about it for, cannons. You can't really do much if you're not, practice a lot. If you practice a lot, you'll get really good at them. Everything in this game is mostly just about practice. If you practice enough, then it all pays off. Also, I realized that this island... Oh, that's not the island we're going to. That's the outpost. Actually, we could probably try out cannons on this skelly ship. Let's do that real quick. Now, I'm doing technically a no-no, but... See, I need to wait, and then I shoot there. And shoot there. See, I kind of got a feel for it, because once you hit once, you kind of know the general area where you need to aim. Oh, we got flying skeletons. Where'd he go? Right there. Take this, you scallion! Nope, okay. I don't know what's going on with their navigation. It's just messed up. Let's turn out of it a tiny bit. I don't know if they're broken still or what, but I don't think these guys have fired on me once. I think they just sunk. They did. So yeah, I guess skellies aren't that hard now. But yeah, just focus your shots on them. And if you get a skelly galleon, always go for the lower deck. It's that simple with those. But we're going to go ahead and grab our loot, which should float to the surface right where they sank, which I can see where they sank just then. Okay. Now, if this was a player, while you're fighting them, because usually there's multiple, unless you're doing Hourglass, then it's always one-on-one, the same size ship and everything. If there are multiple, keep your eyes on your ladders, and keep looking, and use your blunderbuss. Always keep your blunderbuss in hand when you're checking your ladders, or if you get boarded. Because if they get on board, they're close enough for you to use your blunderbuss to get full damage. So we're just gonna go ahead and use. Okay, like I said, I'm not professional at this game. Okay, let's turn more to the right. I always put my loot here. Only reason I put it here is so I can harpoon it off easier when we get there. But if you're more comfortable having it downstairs, that's completely fine. Just know with that, there are disadvantages, like it takes forever to actually move your stuff back and forth. Alright? Now, if you're new, at this point, it'd be safe for you just to sell. I usually don't, but for this sake, I will. The only reason I say you should sell and everything, and people say don't unless you got level 5, but if you get to level 5 and someone's chasing you, all that work's been for nothing. Whereas if you get it to level 1, 2, or 3, you're still getting the bonus and you're selling, so you're still getting a decent bit out of it. Like, if you're Reaper, I wouldn't wait. I would wait till you're level 5, I mean. Because you have to sell at one location anyway. So, you have to race to that location, so yeah. What is that? Nothing, I'm hallucinating. I saw birds. Also, I'm going to switch to a sword real quick to show you something. Oh, I think we might be a little too close. It's fine. And I fell. Okay. I'll still show you what I was trying to show you. Now, what I wanted to show you was this. If you have a sword and some other, like, loadout or whatever, where you have, like, another gun or something, with the sword, there's this neat trick you can do. If you're blocking and you're holding block, and then you hold basically the shoot button, once you hear the swoosh, jump. So, block, hold, swoosh, there. You get a huge, like, boost forward. It's really useful. A lot of people know that. I just didn't know if everyone did, so I went ahead and explained how you do it. Hopefully that's the easiest explanation, because everyone I tried to hear talk about how to do it, it just makes sense to me, and then I figured it out. But yeah. So, that's basically all you need to really know, is whenever you get into a world, if you want to go PvP, make sure you buy each of those chests to get all your supplies. Go around the island, loot the island for its supplies, and then either do hourglass or go ahead and hunt everyone. If you're just a player who wants to hop on and get some, loot, which we did, which if you're wondering, that one ship gave us, but it is double XP weekend, so just keep that in mind. We got 15,000 gold from that, just that one ship. Oh, 20,000 gold from just that one ship. So we made about 10,000. So I made my money back on that chest, if you're curious. But yeah, once you're done and you've already, turned in and you're ready to log off, I like to do this little nice thing where I grab all my supplies off my ship, because you don't get to keep your supplies. And I go ahead and I turn them in at the tavern where people will freshly spawn and see this chest here, so they don't have to buy a new one, and they have some supplies. For instance, this is what they would have, which is actually a decent bit of supplies, actually. There we go, and I'm actually going to take these out because they're useless, and there we go. And then I'm just going to go ahead and turn this in here, and basically log off. Then now whoever logs in after me will have some supplies, and they don't have to worry about those and everything, so yeah. So I just put this somewhere where they'll see it, which they might not see it there. I usually put it in front of the door, like right here. So when they're walking out, they'll see it. Alright. But yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed. And if you saw that I missed something, please leave a comment and I will go over that again or do another video explaining stuff. But I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. And don't forget, I am partnered with W, so if you want to go ahead and head over to them, w.gg I believe, and use my code, which is RedCatGames, all caps, you'll get 10% off. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.